Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Fatamorga. On the northern side, as the Orks, we've got our Dudikoff. On the southern side, as the Death Guard, we've got Kubini. Kubini will be opening with quadruple Nurgle Cultist, a Poxwalker Slave, and double Scourge Generators. Whilst our Dudikoff is going to go for a couple of Slugger Boys, Grot Squad, and a Boys Hut as his opening. Just the Green Boys versus the Unclean Boys. A very interesting opening that we're seeing from Kubini. Now, I do know that he's gone for the first company, which means that there's potential for some cheeky old zombies to come out and try and slap people around. But double Scourge Generators, is this an implication that he's going to go for quick tier 2? Possibly. It's all on the cards, really. I mean, that would make sense. As, after all, I mean, you don't normally see double Scourge Generators or double Plasma Generators of any description as the first kind of thing that you would build for any production buildings. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Nurgle Cultists and Zombies, relatively cheap in all things considered. And yeah, they could just come over, do a little bit of harassment, and then, I don't know, see some Desecrators, see some Plague Havocs, see all kind of things from the Death Guard in the tier 2s. At the moment, just Orks just playing it naturally, playing it casually. Go see that big mech coming out as they capture their nearest and dearest. And what is this? 1, 2, 3 squads of cultists coming straight on over. Have you managed to capture? Maybe it's not even a quick tier 2. Maybe this is just like a full-blown rush going on. The understanding that if the rush doesn't win, they've got plenty of green money left over to do any teching nonsense. Here we come. They've got their shotguns. Big mech will teleport straight in there. Let's see if we can do anything. And these guys have gone for the... Oh, I've gone for the Orkanaut colour scheme. So maybe even Dudikoff, we might see some flying boys later on. That would be in cannon. From the depths of the sands comes a plague zombie horde. Cannot reinforce these guys for the extra boys, but they do have remarkably good health regeneration. The more people they slap around, the quicker that health regeneration is, if I am not mistaken. Got the Grots coming in there, look at them. Going wild in close combat. As a Fecklet Nullmaul is attempting to be built up. Is there a plague? Ah, there was a Poxwalker Slave. He's been shot down by that big mech. Unrelenting violence from his bolt pistol. He is now surrounded, outmanned and outgunned. Even the Grots have left him to his own devices. Fecklet Nullmaul is still there though. That black cloud has dissipated, but foundations, the roots of that Nullmaul is still cracking on. As the plague zombies slowly but surely chase after that big mech, and the Nurgle cultists rocking over to the left hand side to make sure those shooter boys are keeping back. Yeah, they're going to go for an extra squad of shooter boys, which makes sense. I mean, it might even be a good idea to go for a third squad of shooter boys, just in case any extra plague zombies come out and stuff. But they're not quite fast enough to keep up with these guys.
I'm working on something.
Gosh, I do apologise. Suddenly, about 5 minutes before the cast, came down with some serious version of hay fever, which I can only blame for the Death Guard being in the game. That's my own excuse here. At the moment, no real major kind of losses from either side, just a couple of dudes and dudettes. Look at Nullmaul still there. And if anything, it's just preventing the Orks from capturing these bits down here. Now, the Orks have managed to come down over on this side, and since they can't capture their own relic, may as well capture the Death Guard's relic. So really, actually, this isn't doing an amazing amount of map control, I guess. Sure, okay, you might be preventing the Orks from capturing one thing, but they're just going to capture something else. I suppose Death Guard have now got access to 2 things, so 2 for 1. In the grand scheme of numbers, 2 is indeed a bigger number than 1. So the plague zombies trying to keep up these shooter boys, but some wonderful micro from Dudikoff. Some big shooters on the way as well, which should be able to rip apart these plague zombies. No drama whatsoever. A wonderful wall of Death Guard over here. Sluggers going to make very long work of this listing post. Will be upgraded there, so we'll probably scare these guys away. Lickety split. Plague zombies have been squad wiped. And now, with all these big shooters, I don't think the cultists are going to do all that much. They can't get their grenade launcher, as that is part of the 3rd plague company. And with melter guns, needs the 4th plague company or the 5th. And it's not going to do them any favours, not in this certain scenario. Maybe the Cutlass Champion will come over if they get their gift depository, but we're not seeing anything. I'm going to go for tier 2, not at the moment. But triple plague cultists coming forward, actually going to engage in close combat. And your close combat isn't actually that amazing. It's not that great. Current economy's been 74 and 10 compared to 86 and 20. Of course, attempting to shake these Orks off, but we're doing a great job. Have to fall back towards this defensive positioning. Got the listing post being upgraded, and the Feckle Normal building up that. How would one describe this one? Like a power bar. Once that's full, you can fire another Feckle Normal at someone else. Two trees. Like a spreading of a sickly forest. Boxwalker Slave goes down. Not doing a great job at keeping those Boxwalker Slaves alive. Attempting to capture this relic. Could have done that a lot earlier, actually. There was a little bit where they were all standing around here, not doing all that much. Could have done with doing other things. The listing post will be slow but surely brought down. But actually managing to break it down all the same. Orcs firm hold on this relic down here, even upgraded the listing post. But more plague zombies. I do believe that they cost about 200 apiece. Which, I mean, what? If they come out with 7, that's what? 10, 20, just under 30 blue money for each individual model. So actually, compare that to, what, 7 shooter boys, which is almost the maximum size at 35 each. That's a lot cheaper. And really all you're doing is just holding these guys back while you're getting that map control. But plenty of slugger boys on the right side. In fact, also being auto-reinforced. So just getting a mass of lads. Just more bodies. That's what they need. More orcs you have in one place. The bigger the bonuses they get. Increased speed, increased morale regeneration. All the fun, good stuff. The Death Guard don't really have much on the field at the moment. They've still got a couple of Nurgle cultist squads alive. Zombies are manoeuvring around. And attempting to build a ballistic post over here. Might want to cancel that, actually. As this Boxwalker Slave. Probably another poor builder. Thrown to that meat grinder. Yep, he's been brought down. No dramas at all. Plague Zombie still got 6 squad members in there. Now a surround on the big mech. Lobbing a dude across those tainted sands. Look at Normal about to spit out an extra tree. But where is it going to go? Right down in the middle. Right next to him. And now, yep, that's going to be a lot of incoming damage. Just AoE damage around it. That's generally how it works. Morale been more or less instantly broken. Lots of damage done to those boys. Plenty of models at half health at the moment. And the Nurgle cultists, what, you reinforce at 30 blue. So yeah, quite cheap stuff. Plenty of money saved up. Are you going for... You haven't gone for tier 2 yet, but you have gone for a Temple of Disease. So I think you need to get into tier 2 first. Orcs, what's your status at the moment? You are at 35 population. You are going round... Oh no, you're not going round to cap these things. That is the Death Guard doing that. Back at Normal, after spreading its seed, eventually it does die. Will then allow this dude to eventually start building up his own stuff. Whatever that power bar you would call that. Build-up bar, maybe. His course, man, just not dying. But such is the way of the Nurgle side of things. Stick around, having a grand old time, but that big mech still relatively healthy. Still in that green health. But all this space denied to the Orcs. Still got this place down over here, though. Gift of positivity on the way. But it seems that the Orcs... I mean, who's really winning in this engagement? Who's actually getting the most out of this? I don't think it's benefiting anyone. I think some sort of peace deal should happen. There we go, next squad of shooter boys. That's the third one, I think. Yeah, I think three squads of shooter boys would have done them a lot better than that large squad of sluggers. Quite expensive as well, considering that they've invested so much in that one squad. More plague zombies moseying around. Back up Normal. Actually, can the second generation Normal spread its seed? Doesn't seem like it. Otherwise, it would have built up by now. That bell tolls. The slugger boys are being sapped of strength and will by a pestilent piece of foliage. There's more plague zombies just constantly coming out from the ground. And the big shooters akimbo on all the shooter boy squads. One squad over here suffering quite severely. Just a gradual wearing down of these orcs. I don't know how long it's going to last for them. It's the orcs. I mean, I don't... hard to say, really. I mean, they've gone for their last and final war banner before getting into tier 2. So maybe some knob squads would be decent for them, but the economy is still quite low at this stage of the game. And there's still plenty of naggly stuff on the board at the moment. They're moving a bit too far into the orc base. I've been shot by the settlement and the listing post as well. Oh, okay. Oh, you do still spread. It's just that you don't have the bar to show yourself. Okay, fair enough. Well, actually, I quite like that bit. The big mech kind of baiting out over towards here. If it was somewhere over here, then they would have been able to benefit each other. But now that the big shooters, they can just basically fire down one at a time at a distance if they want to. But still, that's 2 trees. 2 more than the orcs actually want to deal with. Now, the idea here would be... Oh, an air... Of course, an air tower. That'd be... You are the Orkanauts. That's exactly what you need to do. And the zombies cannot slap flying things. That makes sense. Perfect logic there. And the orcs seem to be gaining the upper hand here. There's less and less cultists at the moment. They are attempting to capture this relic. Morale being broken on the shooter boys. One squad quite low on models at the moment. Plague zombies over here, keeping these guys at bay. The orcs are teched up. Ah, you guys, yes, you are built add-ons. So you are... Ah, Bane Pit. Yep, that's confirming it. We'll see double plague havocs. So actually, maybe anticipating Dudikoffs. Oh, Dudikoffs. I'm going to call him Dudikoff. I like that. That's a fun name. Yeah, maybe anticipating that... Oh, yeah, the Dakar Jets. Always a good choice. In the previous patch of Unification, those Dakar Jets were absolutely lethal. They've been nerfed quite considerably, but in this kind of scenario, I think they will be paying dividends. Well, they are quite expensive on green money. Well, it's 135 and 280. It's very expensive for a tier 2 vehicle or aircraft. Only 2 plasma generators. Won't be able to get too many. But if they allow these shooter boys to take care of the Nurgle cultists and try and avoid these plague havocs, you see a desecrate. Interesting. I would probably like to see a bloated rhino, in fact, just so that you'd be able to keep those plague havocs on top of the Dakar jet. Also a lot cheaper as well. And if the orcs outposition those plague havocs with their big shooters, you'll be able to get them out of dodge, as they won't be able to get their pestilent missiles to do damage against infantry until tier 3. Now cultists running into the light cover. Won't do them much favours though against all this firepower coming in. Rather than going home to where they can actually be safe, they've now kind of cut themselves off through this large rock formation here. So cultists falling down like London Bridge. Well, Plague Havoc's now finally able to get rid of that listing post on the orc side. Good economy is 104 and 30 compared to 98 and 20. So after all that assault and all that pressure onto the orc side, have not gained a significant economic advantage or even a tech advantage. It's all relatively even, all things considered, although there's no anti-vehicle from the orc perspective apart from that Dakar jet. Dakar jet already brought down to low health. Was trying to avoid these plague havocs as it focuses down on the scourge generator, but does not do amazing damage against buildings anymore. Woe betide those who rely on the Dakar jets. Desecrator keeping back all these orcs at the moment. They've still got that Feckle Null Maul on this side of the base at the moment. In fact, spawning a bloody hell, this is really paid for itself. That's 4 Feckle Null Mauls for the price of 1. Amazing stuff. Tank bust out there. And if these guys get infiltration, which I assume that's probably what you're going for, yeah. Tank buster infiltration. Death Guard have not got their detection at the moment, unless, of course, they go for a malignant plague caster, which does not seem like it. They've gone for... Oh, you're Plague Havoc. You're just going to... Are you riding solo? Right, you boys go that way. I'm going off on my own mission. Fair play to you, man. Sometimes you've just got to go your own way. As Fleetwood Mac demonstrated in that album. Oh, what was that album called? Rumours? Maybe. Only album I've ever heard of Fleetwood Mac. I'm not a well-listened man, if I'm completely honest. Goes the Orks perspective, just so we can see where the tank busters are at a glance. Plague Havoc's opening fire. Second Dakka Jet. Has the first one survived, or did they just repair that one? I've just repaired that one, to be fair. Don't know if the previous one died. I've got plenty more green money incoming. And at the moment, no real anti-infantry. On that botfly, though, to regain air superiority. You are... I mean, you've got, what was that, triple lance cannons? It's not a bad choice. Desecrator weathering that storm. But the tank busters are going to come in, fact, double tank busters by the looks of things. Dakka Jet down. Sure boys low on models, well, relatively low on models compared to what they had. Plague Havocs getting some shots in, but double tank busters going to focus on that botfly first and foremost, because it's got lower health. There we go, blasted to high heavens, and that lack of infiltration detection is really going to bite Kubini in the backside. Definitely need to get that malignant plate. There we go, there he comes. And for 150 blue and 75 green, that's quite a cheap caster. Secondary hero, even. Here he is. His sharp peepers, being able to spot these guys from a distance. He's got no cataracts in his eyes. Absolutely love the smirk effect from the tank busters in Dawn of War Unification. A little bit spotted. Firing a big blast in there. Look at the player caster does wonderful damage to infantry as when he slaps down, well, when he hits every single model in the area. It's very efficient, all things considered. Now being snaked around by some shooter boys. They're doing alright damage to him. Doing alright damage indeed. Not sure if you've got your missile upgrade. Whether the shooter boys just can't weather that storm all that well. Some assistance from the listening post. If it's plaguey goodness. They do have a Poxwog Slave coming over to repair it. I suppose maybe they're on strike at the moment for dying so many times previously. Tank Buster's been blasted around left, right and centre. Big mech slapping around some Plague Havocs. Poxwog Slave attempted to come around and build up this listening post. Surprised that we've not seen it been built up yet. Botfly riding on high. I can't imagine it doing that much damage against... It says on its unit card, good against infantry, but I don't see it. Oh, right, you've got that Plague Spewer on the front of you. That's where your infantry damage comes from. Fair enough. In theory, these shooter boys, with all their big shooters, should really be able to break down these Plague Havocs quite quickly, but I suppose the Plague... Oh, should have said the Death Guard... quite resilient. Not sure if he's gone for any upgrades on their health from the gift repository, but that would make sense. Botfly going toe-to-toe with the tank busters. Plague Havoc's getting involved in close combat. Dakka Jet coming around the sides. There we go. Heavy infantry is exactly what it wants to be firing at. Tank busters running a conga line back to base. Another Feckle Normal comes out to play. Not sure if we can do any damage to aircraft. Lots of Plague Havocs over here. Thrown around. And these guys up here been surrounded. See, that's why I'd like to have seen a bloated Rhino put the listing post up. It's actually going to be upgraded to a tier 3 listing post. Very brave, considering the amount of tank busters on the field at the moment. And has the Malignant Plaguecaster fallen? He has indeed. Will be. Oh no, he's not going to be replaced. Not yet anyway. More bot flies. And we are seeing a couple more Scourge generators. The Death Guard not got nearly as many shiny gubbins saved up. Oh, actually, no, you do. Where did that extra money come from? Did you cancel something? Maybe you did. Yeah, the Orks have got a bit more saved up than the Death Guard here. But double bot flies, keeping that Dakka jet sweet and safe. At a distance anyway. Big Mech being blasted around the thigh by the looks of things. Green bits, but double zap. Oh no, just a single zap. Preventing one bot fly from escaping. Tank bus now moving in. Very nice maneuver from Dudikoff here. Blade is attempting to prevent those tank buses from firing off, but falling into the firing lines of the shooter boys. Bot flyers attempting to break down that Dakka jet. Do manage to succeed. Like we said earlier, every Dakka jet that goes down, that's quite a lot of money thrown down the pan. But Cutlers have been taken care of. Double listing posts also lost in the grand scheme of things. Plague Havocs are still out. There's the bloated Rhino that we wanted. Swift maneuverability that the Death Guard are known for. Go back to the Orks again just for the tank busters. And some silent missiles flying around. No infiltration detection still there. And at this critical juncture where the game can go either way. Every second they can't see those tank busters is a second that they're having a less than ideal time. I've been spotted by something. Is it just being close to the buildings? I assume so. Being close to the listing post or whatever. Close to something at the very least. Red Rhino just holding these guys off, not wanting to win that engagement. I quite like it, the Kubini going on one side to make sure these guys stay away. Once he wins this flank, then comes around to defend. I imagine that's his plan. Giving them the hard shoulder. Plenty of tank busters. Left, right and centre. I mean, these guys can chase after these guys all they want. The Orks on this side got free reign. Might want to move this second squad of shooter boys down over here to do something. Cultists unable to spot these tank busters at the moment. The Slugger boys absorbing the damage from the Plague Havocs. Botflies being repaired by the Poxwalker slaves. Down over here, the infection point. Prime real estate, no one's really taking them on. Comes a delayed Malignant Plaguecaster. At the moment, the Death Guard are really suffering. No answer to these tank busters. Might have been an idea to go for some assault marines earlier on. Maybe some regular old Plague Marines and their grenades to throw down in the middle of these shooter boy forces. But yeah, that would make sense. So even if you can't see the infiltration units, you can still throw a grenade at them, and they'll still explode, still do damage. That might have been the play to make, in all fairness. But when you got that Desecrator online, tap the ground, still does damage to them. Infection point at half health. Plague zombies attempts to come forth, but at the moment, alright, Kubini says GG, and then that's that. I mean, he could have probably fought for a little bit longer. I don't think there was much room for him really to navigate through that, especially with the Mega Armor knobs, just a constant slew of tank busts as well, moseying on down. But yeah, really, really effective early game, and we could just see over here the amount of bodies that are surrounding the Orc side, and just really good value from that Feckle Normal earlier on, denying the Orcs much space to expand and get their economy properly on the go. The one way to really, how would one say, counteract the Orcs in the early game is preventing them from getting their blue money economy on the go. And yeah, that delayed them quite a lot, but when those tank busters came along online, that Desecrator earlier on, able to fend them off for quite some time. I don't know if Plague Havocs were the way forward. I don't think that the Orks committed enough to the vehicle stuff to be able to warrant them. I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough. You get them out early on because the Orks have got lots of vehicles to go for. To get them out, take care of the Dakka Jets. When the Orks kind of double down on all these tank busters, maybe something else. Or what are they called? That I can never remember the name of it, but it's like a singular Death Guard hero that's got that Plague Flamer on him. That's got a really, really effective Noxus grenade that kills everything nearby. I think that would have been the way forward. Regular Plague Marines, maybe some Assault Marines take care of the Shooter Boys, and just plenty of ordnance to just fly around everywhere. But hey, that is the game, and thank you so much, Dudikoff, for sending it into the Unification Discord. And if you want to have a look at the Unification Discord, links to that will be in the description below. There's also links to my Discord in the description below, as well as links to the Patreon, where you can support us over there. And yeah, so thanks for coming, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.